Come on, step into my dreams. We're gonna rock tonight for a while. Come on, rock this place. Even in the dark room, we can move it and rock it to the top.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GSTL on today's cast, and we have a pretty cool matchup coming up today. We have NS Hoseo against TSL. Should be a pretty good clan war. We already had a pretty interesting match yesterday, but FXO proved to be, well, quite a little bit too difficult to beat for ZeNEX. Today's clan war should be a little bit closer in total, and yeah, it's going to be a really tough one. We have a first map that is ESV Cloud Kingdom. It's going to be quite the interesting map for our first match. It's a Terran versus Terran, and it is Polt against the Scalp, which is a little bit of interesting. I actually didn't expect that Polt would play the first map. He told us earlier that apparently he had been sick for the last couple of days, which kind of makes a little bit more sense sending him out early. And I think he recovered by now, but as far as I was told, he was not able to practice all that much the last few days, but he'll definitely give his best. I talked a little bit to him about today and about the upcoming matches and asked him if he's going for the all-kill, something that Lucky announced yesterday. He was not quite able to pull it off, but still. And Polt said, oh, he wants at least to take one game. That's his goal for today. And from that point on, he said he will just take it one map at a time. And yeah, both teams have roughly the same match record, as you can see, 58 to 57%. We have Sage, the captain for NS Hoseo, and Polt, the captain for TSL. So he takes the first game. He's going to play the first match himself. It's going to be a really interesting day, and I expect that we are in for a lot of action, a lot of very good games. Should be quite interesting to see what the two of them pull out of their head. For NS Hoseo, obviously, we are expecting to see Sage and Jakji as well, so that's gonna be kind of nice. And I'm especially interested in seeing a couple of the TSL players. Major is currently staying at the GOM house, and he is good friends with most of the TSL players. He's playing a lot with them, and they practice with him a lot. So we got to see a couple of interesting strategies, and therefore I'm really curious to see what Symbol is going to do today. If he's used against a Terran player, he has been practicing with Major quite a bit, so let's see if that actually paid off, or if he is not able to take a couple of games. He played very strong lately. We have a very good lineup for both of them. Let's just let me give you a short example about the teams today. We have, I think we are heading into the, yeah, we see the teams right there, just entering the arena. Both of them, very strong lineup. We have 4 TSL players like Sage, San, Tacita, Jakji, Seal, and our first player of the day, Scalp. TSL, on the other hand, they are backed up by players like Revival, Polt, Symbol, Hyun, and Cyrano, we've seen as well. And especially with My Way, it's kind of interesting to note that Major played a lot with him. As I said, he plays a lot with the TSL guys, and he said that he is just such a great player, but he has a little bit of a problem in the late game, and this is exactly what we could observe the last time we saw him play. He has a little bit of a problem of adapting this style. He has this strategy that completely works out in his mindset, and if he has to adapt, then he struggles a little bit. He's just too new to the game as of yet, but he is a very good player, and I think that we will see him adapting very soon to the playstyle of Starcraft 2. Players with a boost, and yeah, that's going to be quite the interesting match today. I'm really looking forward, and I actually don't know who's going to take it. We have the roster for the two teams, NS Hoseo with Sage right now, and Scalp, our Terran player, on the first map. We have San, another Protoss. Not quite pulling the Nanima opening, but Freaky looking strong nonetheless. And Seal, another very strong Zerg. Flower, another Zerg player, so a lot of Zergs. Tacita now, he's the Protoss. He played very well in the KSL. He might be able to pull it off in the GSTL as well. Jakji, I don't think we have to introduce him. Current GSL champion. And Shuttle, another Terran player for the NS Hoseo team. And Sting, another very great Terran player, was formerly known as Hoon, and he is also quite the accomplished player. And especially lately, he has been able to win a lot of matches. Is definitely a player that TSL has to be thinking about. The race distribution is quite nice. We have 4 Terrans, 3 Protoss, and 3 Zergs, so they have a lot of players to choose from, which is always a good thing when you're playing Clan War. You always want to have a lot of options, and that's exactly what NS Hoseo has. TSL, on the other hand, they have a very, very nice lineup as well. They certainly don't have to hide the players, and we have the captain of the team. We have none other than TSL Pold. He's our starting player today. TSL. We have TSL Shine, Zerg player with a very, very high APM. The guy's crazy, Symbol, very strong, especially lately. Very, very good Zerg player, and we will definitely see him today. Revival, another Zerg. And Marway, the Zerg player we already talked about a little bit. Probably definitely Starcraft just yet, but getting stronger and stronger by the day. Ragnarok, the young talent, and Cyrano. I've seen a game of him last Clan War, but it did not work out all too well for him. Dream, another Protoss, and there's already the problem for TSL. They don't have that many players out there, and as you can see in a second in the race distribution, they only have 1 Terran player, which is a Pold, and that's the player they are using in the first map, so it's going to be pretty hard for them to snipe another player with Terran. And yeah, this might affect them, this might affect the Clan War a tiny little bit, so yeah, we'll see. They have a lot of Zerg players, a very Zerg heavy team. It's a little bit surprising to have Pold playing the first map, given the fact that they only have 1 Terran player at their disposal today. But still, as I mentioned, it was Sigga that might have to do with it. He could not practice all that much. And yeah, I guess it won't be long before we're heading into the first game. The map is going to be Cloud Kingdom. NS Hoseo against TSL. The players are ready, are preparing right now. We are in the lobby. And only seconds away from starting off in today's Clan War. NS Hoseo against TSL. Here we have Sculpt. 40% win ratio, Code A. And yeah, he's maybe a little bit tense right now. The awesome hot pack. It's getting warmer in Korea, thank God. It was about time. So right now it's not that bad anymore. It's not like you go outside and immediately you start freezing. But still, hot packs are awesome, and Sculpt knows it. And he is up against none other than Pold, the player we talked a lot about in the past. And he's a little bit inconsistent with his results. A very, very strong player against Protoss, by the way. Which is one of the reasons why I'm a little bit surprised to see him on the first map. I would have expected his team to wait a little bit with bringing him into the Clan War, because they want him to snipe a Protoss player, but he's playing against Terran first. Code ranking is 5. He has like 80% win ratio against Protoss, and I sent Major to Pold earlier and told him, yeah, talk to him, because your Terran versus Protoss sucks. You need to actually talk to a guy who knows how to do it. And Pold immediately starts like, yeah, many Marauder, you have to build many Marauder. It was really, really funny. And yeah, they've kept trolling each other for a while. It was really cool. Pold's a really, really nice guy, and he's a pretty cool guy to talk to. Apparently he is studying at one of Seoul's most famous universities, and that's why he has a really, really good English, which is unusual for Koreans. And yep, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So let's head into the game and start with today's first match. We have Cloud Kingdom, as mentioned, Terran versus Terran. The only Terran for TSL is starting out for his team, and Sculpt, first player for NS Hoseo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the GSTL, and with this first game, we'll see them map in just a few seconds. The loading screen is already up, so don't go anywhere. Terran versus Terran, and Hoseo versus TSL. Today's GSTL. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a few seconds.
Alright, hello there ladies and gentlemen, Moletrap here joining Kaldor. Apologies Kaldor, I had some technical difficulties getting here on time today, but I'm here to join you now for this player.
Perfect timing as usual, I'd say.
That's right. Had it all planned. And here is definitely the best player on TSL. He's hoping to carry his team.
GSTL, Pointer!
What did I miss, Kaldor?
Oh, actually not much, just the player introductions and teams entering the arena. So good. The first game today is our Terran versus Terran at hand. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. And I just told everyone out there that Holt had he was apparently sick the last few days. He couldn't.
Oh, really?
He couldn't train all that much. So
Was he a little bit under the weather?
apparently he was indeed. So yeah, let's see how he's going to fare in today's game. And yeah, it's going to be quite the interesting match. You already mentioned that Holt is definitely one of the strongest players in the lineup for TSL. He might be, well, another player to mention is definitely a Symbol. They have a lot of very good Zerg players. And I just mentioned that I find it a little bit curious that we see Paul as the first player, especially given the fact that he's the only Terran in the lineup, and his record against Protoss is just so good. I would have expected TSL to use him in order to snipe one of the Protoss players of NS Horseo.
Yeah, well, I think what their strategy is right here is Pult is not just their best player, he's kind of their only top-level player, you know? We have a couple players that are pretty good that may prove themselves, but so far Pult's the only one that's actually shown results. So I think what they're hoping here is to set him out first and hope that he'll be able to get a few kills off of, you know, the front runners, because teams will often send out their snipers first, and Pult's the one that's capable of maybe taking out a few of those.
I actually talked to Major as well, and Symbol is in really good shape lately. I think I mentioned yesterday that he won the first qualifier for the Iron Squid tournament, which was a really, well, qualified with a long of good players, and Major actually thinks that right now Symbol is even a little bit better than Pult. But we'll see both of them today, so let's see what they're up to. We have Pult with a very early command center at 15, by the way, and his opponent is already getting his factory being built while Pult doesn't even have gas yet.
Interesting. Yeah, we both have players scouting each other right now. Obviously, a little bit of a variation. We have that command center going up for Pult. Almost finished. Factory and reactor going up for Sculpt, though.
Cloud Kingdom is very nice, trying to catch the Marine. But he just escapes, will die nonetheless. And Cloud Kingdom is the map where you can, well, Mech is really, really strong. You can use Mech on Cloud Kingdom without a problem at all. Paul, on the other hand, is a Terran player that really loves his bio play, though. And that's exactly what we see from him. So yeah, he is adding more and more barracks, while we have the NS Socio player now with a switcheroo. And he's going for the first few Hellions right away while building his own expansion. But he's a little bit later than his opponent. The Marine, the second Marine for Sculpt, is just now escaping. Yeah, let's see how that game is going to turn out. Paul now taking gas as well, and the early game is said and done. Both players with expansion a little bit later for Sculpt. Let's see what he can do about it.
Yeah, no, Pult, he's like kind of stubborn in his bio, and he's been known to have said before that even though he thinks Mech is better, he actually likes bio more, and so he's just going to go bio until it completely stops working. So that's his theory here, I guess. But the thing is I don't know, did you see Sculpt's Code A matches the other day?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest, but right now we have a couple of Hellions and the bunker is not done, and look at how much damage those Hellions already did. They are on the verge of dying, though, and he should have tried to take out the Marine. It was the last Marine for now. He could have killed a couple of the SCVs, but nonetheless he did a good amount of damage and was able to take down 3 SCVs already in total, so not bad by Sculpt.
Well, I definitely didn't expect you to have watched those live because you were casting the other stream at the time. Yeah. But I casted Sculpt's games, and I have to tell you, he is Code B material at the very highest. I don't know, I was talking with Artosis about it a little bit, and he may have been just a little bit nervous that day, but he made some real bad multitasking errors and some bad micro errors. So I think that he's definitely a class below Pult here. I'd really be impressed a little bit more than I was during his Code A matches if he was able to put up a good fight against Pult. But I don't expect him to be able to succeed here, to be completely honest with you, the way he played in earlier this week.
Paul is definitely the favorite player. He already has the first missile turret in production. He didn't even scan his opponent's cloak bench. He didn't even see the starport. He used the scanner in the main base of Sculp, but he was not able to spot the starport because Sculp was just trying to hide it. And he's researching his cloak, but he won't be able to do any damage at all because Paul already has missile turrets up. So it's going to be quite interesting what he's going to do once he realizes that he can't do any damage with the Banshees at all. We have no missile turrets at the expansion though. That's the one thing that's maybe a little bit surprising, but enough energy on the orbitals to use a scan as soon as the Banshee arrives.
Yep, very smart, expecting that to be coming. Since he hasn't seen a lot of anything else, he's just seen some Hellions, he can kind of anticipate that. And so he's going to be pretty prepared for it. He has a sizable number of Marines there. A Viking is on the way as well for Polt, so he's going to be plenty prepared for this. He might lose some SCVs and Marines though, to be honest, before he's able to take care of it.
First few SCVs just actually 2 died, and the Marines are already trying to take down the Banshee. We don't have Stim just yet. He doesn't have combat shield, and the missile turret might prove to be a problem. He needs to scan if he wants to kill the Banshee. Being detected by the turret. Oh, that is a close one, but he's taken down another SCV, 6 SCVs kills. That's actually not too bad. That's not bad, given the fact that there were already turrets. That's alright.
And he's actually, this is interesting. Now, the one thing that Sculp did do very well in his Code A matches was he had very good macro. And oh no, that Decloak might have killed that Banshee if the Viking can catch up and get one shot on it.
Nah, the Banshee's
like faster, it's not going to.
so he can't catch up.
Anyway, but Sculp is kind of showing that he's actually already getting his 3rd command center right now, as well as Siege Tech and Blue Flame. So Sculp is definitely going for a mech build and going for a macro because he is trying to get that 3rd up quicker.
That Banshee definitely paid off, by the way, with 6 SCV kills and 1 scan that it forced. It was definitely worth it. Yeah, that's the second one that he sent in with 3 kills as well, but yep.
Nice.
This one is not gonna escape. But you're perfectly right. With all the factories that he already built, we have 3 factories right now for the NS Socio player. Sculp is getting not only the Siege Tank mode, but he's getting Infernal Pre-Igniter. We have the Raven in production. And yeah, he will definitely get his mech army up, while Paul is relying on Marine and Tank. Building a 3rd as well, by the way. So both of them are trying to aim for the 3rd base. And it's a pretty cool game already. A little bit of 9. We have a small advantage for Sculp when it comes down to his economy. 6 harvesters.
Yep, a little bit of an advantage there, but again, I think it's gonna then come down, now that they're finishing their command centers at similar times, it's gonna be about who can actually land that 3rd. And hold that thought, a little bit of a battle going on here. The tanks and Marines caught in the middle, but the Hellions do get forced back by the sheer firepower there. Whoever can land that 3rd base at the 3rd location and start mining from it is actually going to get that economic advantage more than just building it first. So the fact that that extra orbital is still in Sculp's base means that it's not really providing him too much extra right now.
Paul has to be very, very careful now. He is researching Stim, but he does not have combat shield just yet. And there was Blue Flame Hellions. There are a lot of them, and that's exactly what he needs to be careful about. Even the tanks get picked off. At least one of them is by the Hellions. Sculp is a bit too aggressive, to be honest.
Being aggressive with those Hellions against Marines is a pretty good idea, but with Marauders and tanks alongside, you're going to lose more Hellions than it's worth. So I like that pickoff with the tank. That's very important, but I don't know if it was worth 3 Hellions. I think he lost 3 or so.
Paul builds a lot more Marauders right now as he realized that his opponent is really is playing really Hellion heavy, and so he should. He's adding a lot of Marauders, couple of Marines as well. Finally, we have the combat shield coming up and concussive shell, so Sculp has to be really, really careful. Another attack with the Hellions, with the Marauders in the picture and the concussive shell upgrade would definitely make him lose a lot of his ground units. And we already have 2 additional factories for Sculp, so he is playing with a lot of factories. He has like 5 now in total, 5 to 6.
Yeah, he's putting out a lot of stuff right now, and they're kind of leapfrogging bases at this point. The Hellion really wanted to get that tower. They're leapfrogging bases. We have Polt getting his 4th command center, his 4th orbital right now. They both landed their 3rds and Maynarded put their workers at those bases at about the same time, so they're staying about even in economy in that sense. Although I haven't actually looked at the econ tab.
once
Do they have even workers as well?
Roughly, yeah. Still the small lead for Sculpt with the 5 harvesters.
Yeah.
Not really all that much. Doesn't matter all that much if you're on your 3 bases. In regards to the income tab, we can have a quick look right now. Paul is ahead thanks to his higher mule count.
Yep. And he's planning down 3 more barracks, by the way. So he is really going to be able to start putting out units. And here he comes in, some Hellions trying to roast SCVs.
Oh, that was not worth it.
No, they almost got a good shot off on the line of SCVs, but instead just lost a bunch of Hellions for virtually nothing. Oh,
he lost all of them.
The last one.
He lost every single Hellion that he had. There's just no escape. Paul played that really well. He reacted in time to save most of his SCVs. Job well done by the TSL player. But in total, Sculpt was able to kill 12 harvesters. So not in the last attack, by the way, just over the course of the game. More sensor towers are now being built for Sculpt, something that I really like. Paul should think about using a sensor tower as well, just in order to get an idea when his opponent is going for some run by again. I like the drop play, that's really cute.
Only a Marauder would feel comfortable dropping out of a medevac into the flames of 10 Hellions. I'd be like, it's okay, I'll take you on. Oh, and he traps those Hellions, picks off a couple there. Nope, just gets 1, I guess.
Paul is behind in overall supply though, but he has 1,500 minerals banked up and a lot of gas. He's getting the +2 attack upgrade now. We already have him on 1-1 upgrades in total. Now also the second armor upgrade has just been started. And he's getting 2 additional bases, one at the bottom right and one to the left side of the map.
Yeah.
Kinda like it.
And this is kind of what we see oftentimes in mech versus bio games in TVT, is the mech player gets about 3 bases, occasionally 4, and they just bunker and turtle up until they get those 3 or 4 bases, and then they try and get a maxed army off of it. And we have the bio player getting more bases, having the more mobile army, but they have to stand up to this one big attack though, and if they can't stand up to it, then they're going to lose no matter how many bases they have. And Polt trying to get some damage done when he's unsieged, but there's just so many units there, it's going to be hard for him to hold this off.
He did very well so far though. He's just trying to delay the push of his opponent, trying to dodge the point defense drones that have been dropped. And that's exactly the reason why he's expanding to the left and right of the map. He wants to scatter those bases across the entire map in order to be able to use the higher mobility of his army. Once again going in, and he needs to be careful. Once the siege tanks are sieged up, should not attack anymore. But he's going in from all sides, trying to take down his opponent's army. He's killing a lot of the tanks, but NS Hoseo Sculpt has so many factories that he can reproduce his army with ease. Not a problem at all for him. And Paul is in a little bit of trouble now, but still he's using all those armies very well, scattering them across the map, and he still has the resources to rebuild his fire troops.
Yeah, the critical thing here is that Sculpt no longer has a buffer. He's lost his point defense drones, he's lost all of his Hellions, so the next time he's caught unsieged with a decent Marauder army, they could just stim in there and take out all the tanks. Is he going to get caught on siege though? It looks like he's leapfrogging forward, being very efficient. And I don't know if Polt's going to be able to stop this actually.
Polt is now taking some damage with the SCVs, he's just tanking them. And here come Marauders and of course Marine. Everything is trying to deal with the tank threat. Polt is dropping in supply like crazy. He still has a lot of minerals and gas though. Will it be enough? It does not look like it. Sculpt just obliterating the army of the TSL player.
Wow, well, you know what? It looks like he may actually lose this right here. He is only losing his natural expansion. His production facilities excuse me, are still intact, and he still has the 2 bases in the top left and the bottom right. So it's feasible he could mount another attack. He has a large bioforce in his main still. Again, if he can catch Sculpt unsieged, he can melt that, but Sculpt is being so patient with this. He's actually playing this really well. I may have to eat my words here. Sculpt looks like he actually is going to beat the GSL champion, Polt.
This is looking very grim for Polt indeed. He's getting back with his, he's getting back in supply a little bit, but the thing is that Sculpt is just so far ahead, even now taking a 4th base on his own, and the tanks are in a beautiful position. The one thing that Sculpt does not know just yet is that at the left side of the map we still have a base for Polt where he's mining with all the mules that he has at his disposal. Both players are now going for the +3 upgrades, and here's Paul trying to catch the reinforcements off guard. He's able to snipe 2 of the tanks. Is he able to get the second one as well? Yes, he certainly is, but moving into the main base right now is NS Hoseo's Skull.
And this is the last defense by Bolt. He's got to probably going to wait and try and squeeze out as many units as possible from those barracks and then go in to try and take out that army. But in the meantime, he is trying to trade. I'm surprised he didn't try and trade earlier, to be honest with you, trying to drop in Sculpt's production facilities. But he's going to have to, yeah, he's taken out one of those bases, but only forced it to lift. Here it is. Once these last buildings fall, he's probably going to lift his orbital and stim in there and try one last time to take out that army.
His problem is that he is heavily supply blocked now, and every second another supply depot dies, his chances of coming back into this match are actually getting smaller and smaller because he just can't build any units. Even he has 2,000 minerals, but he can't build anything.
Yeah, that's just sad. And here he goes in for one final attempt, but the tank siege up, and everything dies moments later. He only loses a couple tanks. Polt is going to have to GG. He's at 38 supply to 137. I cannot believe it, actually. I would have bet money. I would have bet a decent amount of money that Polt was going to win this game based on how we saw Sculpt play in Code A the other day, but he has actually played really well. He hasn't made those micro mistakes. He's made some mistakes, maybe running in Hellions at the wrong times and losing them, but he has just out-macroed and outplayed Polt. I got to give him props for that. I got to eat my words.
Yeah, well, we mentioned earlier, Polt was sick the last few days. Due to our information, he was not able to train as much as he normally would have liked to, but you are right, Sculpt played it well, and in the end, Polt just was not on top of his game today. 13 supply is not something that you want to have when you are about to win a game. So 1,340, and Polt GG's out of the match. Therefore, we have the 1-0 for NS Hoseo.
Wow.
Early upset for the TSL team.
Yeah, and that's really crushing for the TSL team because they just had one of NS Hosa's scrubs take out their star player, and NS Hosa is just walking right by us, actually. They're like, all right, we're done. We win. We took out Polt, therefore we win the clan war. We're done. Bye-bye.
That's just awesome. That's the best goal ever.
That was the best ceremony I've ever seen.
The entire team just leaves the room.
Oh man, and Coach Lee does not look happy. I feel bad for the guy. His star player has just gotten owned because he refuses to go mech in TVT. And it works for Polt a lot, but not that time. That was funny.
All of them had to walk past us right here.
That was awesome. I was like, wait, what's going on? At first I was like, are we going on a break already?
Yeah, at first I thought, okay, he's going to the toilet now. And then suddenly the whole team leaves and I'm like, what?
That was good. That was good.
And all of them just grinning, their faces. That was brilliant. That was really good.
But, I mean, we have yet to see what Symbol is capable of. There's a couple other players on TSL that are decent, but for the most part, Polt is the heart and core of their team, and he's already been taken out. It's going to be really hard for TSL to come back against this because NS Hosa has a little bit broader bench, I believe. They've still got Jockji, who is easily as good as Polt.
Well, there's no Terran player left for
about as
TSL.
good as Polt.
That's the biggest problem in my opinion. They don't have a Terran player left. On the other hand, something that we should definitely remember is that they have a lot of good Zerg players. And, well, the team now has to show the captain that they are able to win without his help. So let's see if they are up to the task. We have Revival, Symbol, and, of course, we have My Way. Players that could potentially take a couple of games.
Yeah.
And I think we are going to find out who's the next player is going to be.
We're going to find out right now. And it is going to be Dream.
Protoss player. One of the two Protoss players they have in their lineup.
I'm going to have to look him up. I recognize that name. I think I've seen him play before, but I can't be certain.
Don't have the map just yet. Also, of course, something that I would be really interested in. The map they are going to play.
All right, so we're going to have Dream. Protoss player. Is it? Is he Protoss?
Yes, he's Protoss.
see. Okay. Well, we'll try and find out some more about him, but in any case, we're going to take a 5-minute break, and while we're on that break, you guys can go get a snack. Go to the restroom if you need to, but don't go far, because we're going to have more information and more StarCraft action for you in just a few minutes.